Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Jeremy, and I go by just Jeremy on Discord.
And this is Aaron. I go by Treffenwood on Discord.
And we are bringing you a fun, action-packed version of Infamous in which we prepare to leave for WTC.
Kick-ass!
It's a lot of putting things in bags, checking your lists, and still forgetting everything you needed anyway. So, let's see here. Parker's got 3,096 probationary episodes? How the fuck was that from the bets last week?
I got him good last week.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. He bet 500.
I fucking got him.
So, God, he's doing so badly. Talk about taking no money and turning it into a severe lack of money.
His credits.
His credit is just like, why are you allowing this person a line of credit? This is a terrible idea. All right. Quick announcements. We've got, as always, our links in the podcast notes. Also, we're releasing a WTC series of episodes on our Patreon. It will be out early. I think eventually I'm going to add it to the live feed, but we'll see when that will be. So if you're excited about WTC and you want to hear our thoughts, you can get on the Patreon and get those. Did we have any news at all this week?
God, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's a shitload of sprues in that new box. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, there's a lot of plastic in that box. All right. I guess there's not much reason to go over currently playing unless you guys want to talk about our WTC lists.
What makes you think I've been playing my WTC list?
Well, no, but I mean, like, at this point, all we're going to do is play WTC before, like, the next podcast, probably.
I'm definitely done with my list. My God in heaven.
I would enjoy playing my list some more. I just know it's not super fun to play into, so I will probably be ditching it after WTC.
I know I'm ditching mine. I'm excited to play cool stuff like Cosmic Ghost Rider and Immortal.
At the same time.
Probably not at the same time. I don't know. I saw Richard's list. He's doing that. I don't think it's the right call.
It seems fun.
Yeah. There's two lists I'm planning on playing as soon as we get back. I just want a palate cleanser of beating the shit out of people as opposed to what I'm currently doing.
I'm honestly looking at the new box with all its new models and thinking to just run new shit like out of the box for a little bit, just to kind of get a range of new stuff.
Well, let me tell you, Aaron had some glowing reviews of new Zemo leadership, so you should jump all over that.
No, I don't. Did you not catch the dripping sarcasm?
No, I just I wanted him to try it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should try New
Delicious.
You know how you're always like, man, I really wish I could get Escort to Safety into this squad. Zemo lets you do that. And then you can forget to play Escort to Safety, which means you don't have a leadership. All right, for those people living under a rock, I don't know that we've actually said exactly our list, so I'll just cover it real quick. So we've got basically standard Sam Vengers with played by Aaron. He's got Crimson Dynamo. I think is his only real splash.
Let's call Beta Ray a splash too.
In Sam Vengers?
For the WTC process, absolutely.
I guess that's fair. It does take that resource away from people who desperately needed it, which is definitely a choice you made.
And I basically said I'm taking the two best forwards. Y'all can fucking fight over the scraps.
No regrets. Two of the best threes. Three of the best threes.
Those are all affiliated though. So
I'm just saying, all the pressure's on you. If you don't go 5-0, we're gonna lose. Like that's the only way.
Ouch.
Why do I? Oh, I was like, why is there a settings tab on this one? Oh, it's because it's my list. Next up, I'm playing a go wide version of Web Warriors. We got ASM, Agent Venom, original Battlebox Peter 1, which is apparently a hot take. Spider-Woman, Miles, Gwen, Black Cat, Shuri, Toad, and Wong. So I can go 6 wide at 17. I've been playing this list exclusively lately. My other hot take add-in was PSD, Psychic Shielding Device. I thought it was interesting versus specific matchups. But yeah. The only real regret I have of my list is, I think, Senators. I think I should have done Scrolls or maybe even Paranoia. But I didn't have time to playtest it at the point at which I realized I wanted to switch it. I think Senators is fine. It's just in a lot of my bad matchups, it's not the best option. But it's good in my good matchups, and that's what I was thinking at the time.
I know I'll come back to eat these words, but I have no regrets in my list at all.
Well, I mean, you literally just net deck the best list in the game, so that makes sense.
I copy and pasted everything, yes.
Copy pasta.
Now, I don't think I'll win every game, because I still think there are a lot of really good lists out there.
Yeah.
But I can't think of a choice I could have or should have made to improve those odds, given the team pairing process, right?
Yeah. So looking at my squad, or my bench of characters, the only substitution I would even consider at this point is Agent Venom for Rhino. And that's in very specific corner case stuff, and Rhino was already taken on our team, so that's not even an option. I think I have the characters I want, so I agree with that. Jeremy, do you want to talk about your team? You want me to do it?
You can go ahead, and I'll jump in. I have a couple things that I don't like about it.
Jeremy's playing a significant trash pile that is also made up of models. No, I'm just kidding. I actually like your list, Jeremy. I did not like it the first time we started talking about it. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Like, don't stop. And then conveniently, the Malekith nerf lined up very well with your changes. But I once I played against it a couple times, I definitely agreed. This list is surprisingly good. We've got Malekith and MODOK, Mystique, Zemo, Scourge, Red Skull 2, Bullseye, CGR, Ultron, and Red Skull 1. We've talked about this. You would like to replace Ultron with Rhino, but again, he was already taken. I really like the Red Skull 1 drop with CGR in this list. I think it's very strong. And then, yeah, people underrate Go Wide Cabal. Like, the 3-pointers in Cabal are all very good. But nobody plays Cabal Go Wide. They've been only seeing Malekith for so long. That's all they think that the list can do. And Cabal is underrated, I think.
I just played into Mystique with Voodoo. Yeah, that shit sucked. Because he can't pull Voodoo back. Yeah, so at that point,
so
it's
he's
like,
just 2v4,
yeah. Why don't you just rapid fire and just die? So that's in your hip pocket, Jeremy. If you go up against Voodoo, wait for him to steal something. And at that point, it doesn't matter what power level he has. He can never pull it back until he's attacked. And if Mystique's the one attacking him, he can't do it then either. So
yeah.
That was pretty good.
Can he possess himself?
No.
Okay. You can't target yourself with possession. Okay. I was just like, is that a way to get the token back?
I'd have to actually look at the card. But they did fix his card to where you can now no longer possess another Voodoo.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Because they changed it to where you have to move the token onto the character, then they drop. So since you can never move the token onto another Voodoo, you can never possess another Voodoo.
Nice. Jeremy, do you have thoughts about your list? You said you had...
Yeah, I really miss Smash a lot. I pulled it out of the list and put in Escort to Safety instead. And I think with Fallback is enough. I don't really need Escort to Safety. I wish I hadn't put both of those in my list. In every game, I miss it. I miss Smash a lot, especially when I'm playing Malekith. I think Malekith's claim to fame now is going to be smashing a size 3 and putting a beam over 3 models with 8 dice twice. I think he can do that, and almost nobody else can. That's his one thing he can really do aside from Midnight, and I really miss it.
Yeah. And so, like, turn 1, you can, like, even if you're not getting help to get your Frosty off on turn 1, you can usually easily move and beam somebody, and then going into the next turn, you'll have 5 power. You can smash and Ferocity in, and then use that to throw people into a beam while causing a collision simultaneously. Mm-hmm. And so you're doing a 10 dice charge into an 8 dice beam hitting 3 people, plus a collision. It's still a silly amount of damage that's coming out at you, and you still have Dark Rain for later turns. There's a lot of punishment he can still put out, and his leadership is still, in my opinion, one of the best in the game.
Yeah, I miss the double tap. One of the turns is with Smash, the other turn is with Dark Rain, and not having it really takes the sting out of Malekith, and I kind of shift gears now with the list that I have. I can't necessarily do the things I used to. So changing it in the future, that's what I'll do in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, and then for the later turns, having Midnight Phantasmagorium and Black Bifrost, the kit still is good. It's just, he's no longer a fucking nightmare bully, and he has to play the game like everybody else. And so losing that power of just being able to shove people around is definitely hurts. But don't worry, you've got a new model that can do that for you. CGR.
Yeah, and I'm also not very practiced with CGR. Like, I know that some people get infinite amounts of damage and infinite amounts of things from him. But I will say Malekith was that model for me, and not being able to get that amount of work. I still haven't paired them up to be the tag team duo of death. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not as confident as I was when I was running like I-Hulk and Malekith together. That combo was way crazier. We'll see. I mean, some things will be completely victimized by CGR that nothing else can really do it. Being able to reach across the table and take any model from anything, if you just roll really high on turn 1, is pretty stupid. It cannot be
also,
denied.
like, people go apeshit over CGR having Winging It tokens, and you can just have Zemo on the board, and it's better. Like, all you gotta do is just place within 2 a Zemo on your large base with range 4, and you shoot whoever the fuck you want. Like, it's so silly, the amount of, like, efficiency you can get out of basically nothing.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you Cosmic Invigorate him, and then you can got your back once. And so he's making 5 attacks in a round, all with a reroll. And you're just like, fuck me. Yeah, I like your list, Jeremy. Obviously, it has bad matchups. It's not perfect. There's no perfect list, except for what Aaron's playing.
I was going to say, Aaron's list is pretty perfect. It's pretty choice, man.
Yeah.
When you move your first model, Aaron, it feels like it's a trap. As soon as you move a model, it's like, this is a trap. I can't do anything.
You need to watch his games against Kenny then, because Aaron is playing like a scared little bitch sometimes. He's just like, all right, so Sam walks up, picks up this cube, walks behind my deployment line. Your turn. Like, it's like, what the fuck, Aaron?
You've seen what happens when I don't, right?
Oh, you lost that game. Yeah.
No, when I didn't.
Sam died immediately, even though he was there, and then you still lost. It was fucking great.
On a scale of 1 to 10, my caution level was a 9.
Yeah.
And I fucking got killed. It is now a 10, or a 10
100%.
plus, every time.
No, yeah. No, I just like making fun. You were playing like a scared little bitch. It just wasn't scared enough. You needed to be more afraid.
I know. And you watched my game against Richard with I-Hulk, too. Like, he's fucking playing I-Hulk CGR.
Watched is a strong term.
Sure,
I think I looked at the screen for an entire 3 minutes of that game, so I was painting.
Yeah. So
I did listen to your game.
Of that 5-wide list, my turn 1 included 3 people ending up closer to my board edge than they started the turn on turn 1. 3 out of 5. What the fuck do you do? CGR and I-Hulk with 1 below all? I mean, there's no place I can go that's not going to get my people killed.
No, Mr. Aaron, I expect you to die.
Yes, he did.
You to die.
So, anyway,
we have to do Bond movies as one of the categories. Just heads up. That would be great because there's so many. We could all pick some. There'd still be half of them left.
I actually own every single one except for maybe the last 2.
There's a lot I haven't seen, and I don't have a strong desire to go back and watch like the old ones, but I probably should.
If you want them, I can give them to you.
Well, I don't have a DVD player, so that would not help me a lot.
Betamax.
We can just catch Josh's around.
No, that's true. We can just keep using. Thanks, Josh. Good job. All right, so moving on to the next list. Unless Jeremy, there's anything else you want to say about your list?
That's it.
You like your missions?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Cool. And it also, I'll post the link to the Longshanks in the the show notes as well. So that way, if you guys want to go in and actually read through all the line entry options of our list, it'll be there. Next up, we have Perrin's list. He's got semi-standard X-Men with a Thanos splash. So we got Storm, Thanos, Beast, Rogue, Cyclops, Rhino, Cable, X-23, Logan, and Psylocke. I helped him do his matchups for this list. He He can play both blue and gold, and he's also got the X-Force splash at specific point totals on specific missions. Thanos is only really there as a hammer specialist. But yeah.
When he assembles the gauntlet, it is good news.
It's fucking annoying. Yeah, no, that's like when I was playing Thanos Guardians, everybody was like, this list is unbeatable. I was like, stop choosing my reds. like if this isn't hammers, it's so much worse for me. Yeah, getting to pick up 2 hammers and Space Stone someone forward on the first turn is just like the best first activation in the history of the world. It's so dumb. But yeah, so he's not here to defend his list. He took Rhino. I like what he's doing with Rhino. He just needs to actually put him on the table. Did you hear what happened with Kenny?
No.
In the team tournament that Perrin played in?
No.
Kenny was like, all right, I really need Rhino. He's like, well, I'm taking Rhino. He's like, well, but like, you like need him? He's like, I absolutely need him. Perrin is like, I cannot play without Rhino. He didn't put him on the table once. and Kenny's just sitting there like game 3. He's like, man, show me next time with a fucking Rhino right now. It was fucking awesome.
I tell you, man, just a side note on Cyclops, that son of a bitch is blowing up the universe right now. Like,
dude, I know he's just living on borrowed time because
goggles off.
Goggles on, goggles off. I've watched so many games of Cyclops, and every game is just like, all right, so roll 2 crits, a wild, and 2 hits. Is that good? All right, roll my 2 crits, 2 more wilds. Like, all right, that seems solid. And it's like one shot somebody, trigger the speed of sight. And it's like, all right, attacking that person, 3 crits, wild hit. Is that good? Like, what is happening?
Dude.
He saved up all of his good rolls for the last 2 years to
use
them in 1 month. Like, it's so
full
crazy.
release. Full release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just been dicing the fuck out of people. All right, moving on. We've got our good friend Aaron England's list. He's playing Midnight Suns with a small, like just a skosh of Defender Splash. So we got Matt Murdock, Ghost Rider, the original, Doctor Strange, the original, Iron Fist, Moon Knight, Hela, Lizard, Okoye, Immortal Hulk, Blade. We've got standard cards with him. What do you guys think about Aaron's list? Obviously, he made a lot of sacrifices because he switched to Midnight Suns pretty late, and we had already established a lot of other lists using Midnight Suns characters like Voodoo and Wong and Black Cat in other lists. So it would have been a big upheaval to move those characters around. So he's playing a somewhat very restricted version of Midnight Suns.
I like it. I like full gas Immortal Hulk. That works for me, man.
Yeah, I like lists that know what they're about and they have a strong plan A with a splash of a backup plan. It's kind of like your list, in my opinion. I think Red Skull Cosmic Ghost Rider is your go-to, and then Malekith is an interesting splash option if the matchup lines up for you. I was surprised, very, very surprised how good New Hela is.
Does he have New Hela in that list?
Mm-hmm.
Have you played New Hela?
I have played against her twice, and both games she was a problem. She's just tough enough that having a lot of mobility makes her actually very hard to kill, because most people don't have like CGR level like ranged attacks, and so if you're only really punching people, she just like hangs out on a flank and will just out of nowhere be up in your shit because she generates 2 power turn. She can just, like, poke people with Cold Soul in the early turns if she wants. And then out of nowhere, she's like, bump, charge, double attack. And you're like, oh, wow, that's, like, a lot further than I expected. Because it's a medium base placing 1, medium base moving short. It's like 8 inches of movement.
Yeah, it is a
And
long
then
way.
he's just like, and then she has a range 3 builder now. And so, like, she's got her lowest attack range is, like, fucking range 3. So she attacks from so far away. Yeah, it was just very surprising to see the kit come together. So yeah, all of her attacks are range 3 or better. So she can hang out on like the flanks. She can charge in with her Death's Embrace, get within range 1 of somebody, daze them, and then bump backwards. So that she's like out of range of everybody, and maybe even bump into cover. And so, because she's a range 2 on a medium base, so it's easy to find cover. Yeah, it's just surprisingly hard to kind of get a hold of her without committing like noticeable resources. And then obviously on the backside, she gets to come back to life, so that's cool. I think the removing the ability to spend souls on the claim soul attack was a bit of a nerf because her like range damage went down. But I think it forces people to play her better. Not better. The way she was intended, which leads to her getting to resurrect more often.
Resurrect is on. She remains injured, right?
Yeah, she just instead of dying, she goes back to 4 health. But she's an Asgardian, so if you're playing Asgard, you also have Odin's Blessing. I mean, we talked about this a little bit on the Rada cast, but the fact that she just cannot die to 2 sources of damage on her backside is really cool. You're just like, oh, like, I've got Malekith, right? And you're like, okay, cool. So you smash, you Dark Rain me, you charge in with Midnight Blade. Cool. You do 1 damage and throw me, so I take 2. Then you come in with your spender even. It doesn't even matter. You would daze me. I go back to 4 health. And you've done 0 damage to Hela with a activation with a tactics card. 7-point activation with a tactics card. It's just like, oh. Like, I did not expect that. Like, she's just effectively unkillable for 1 turn of the game. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway. That is our 5 lists.
Ta-da. When do the games actually start? Is there a time?
That's a good question. It's Saturday. I think it's like 10 a.m.
10 a.m. that time, which would be...
Yeah. 5 a.m. our time.
I think we're minus more than that.
Oh, mercy.
It's 5 or 6.
So we'll expect all our dear listeners.
It's a 7-hour time difference from Central.
No, yeah. So we'll basically be done playing by the time they wake up.
Oh my god, dude! I'm gonna be so tired when we start playing.
I told Kenny. Kenny said he gets up at 4 every day.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm gonna follow you guys. Just like, say something and I'll remember. I'm like, okay.
Good lord.
But yeah, I assume on Saturday everybody will just wake up, do stuff, then see that however we did, and then like they'll be like hopefully rooting for us on Sunday.
Dude, I'll be fucking zombied out that morning. That's gonna be so fucking early.
Well, we'll be there for a day. Like so when we land, it's the equivalent of it's like 3 p.m. there on Friday, and so we'll have about 14, 15 hours to adjust. That's why, like, I was considering trying to not sleep on the flight. That way, when we land, I can actually go to sleep at a reasonable time because I have insomnia. So it's hard for me to go to bed unless I'm like dead tired.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is you can stay awake until time to sleep Friday night. However, that can be difficult. Like I failed on my Spain trip. Like I couldn't do it.
Well, if we just stand in a circle and take turns slapping each other, I think we can do it.
Hard pass.
Well, if we just stand in a circle and take turns slapping Jeremy.
No.
No.
Dude, I'll be sleeping anyway. I can sleep anytime. I'm good.
Can you? Man, I've never been able to do that. I can, like, quiet my mind and lay there, but, like, I don't physically go to sleep unless I'm, like, really tired.
Okay, event schedule is... so registration from 6 to midnight. You need to register to obtain booze. Okay? That's important.
Nice. Wait, they're telling me I can't have booze until 6 p.m. Friday? What the fuck is that?
Bars open at noon, but...
That doesn't make any sense.
I know, whatever. Breakfast starts at 8. Welcome at 9. Round 1 at 9:30. Anyway, round 1, 9:30 Saturday morning. Breakfast at 8.
So it'd be almost 3 a.m. here.
1 a.m. 7-hour difference.
You said 9:30, right?
Is the first round, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, breakfast time, yeah. I was just worried about... I'm not worried about me being awake. I'm worried about other people being able to watch. So that would mean 3 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 a.m. So if you're up at 7 a.m., we'll be in round 3. So go to Longshanks and check out what's going on.
Yeah, this could be interesting. This could be real fucking interesting.
Yeah.
I
imagine most people will see what I would recommend people doing is going through. Don't look at the current standings. First, go to the versus section and go to round 1, and then check. Like I like to see how things happen, not just look at the final results. But obviously, people do whatever
they want. Well, I'm pretty excited. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready to take gloves off, man. We need to do
gloves.
We got to do what we got to do.
Mm-hmm. How are you gonna push people down the stairs? What's going on?
Nah. I'm liable just to fall down the stairs, being it's going to be 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Old people can't do this. You can't just switch up shit like this on it. Like, I'm liable to take the wrong pills and just black out and just lay there on the ground.
We'll take that into account during our pairing process.
Yes. Make sure that I'm actually awake.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, for sure. because I need to be up for like an hour or two before I start making game decisions. So like, I definitely am glad there's like a breakfast period. Like, we're gonna be up, talking, moving around, getting the blood flowing first.
I'm usually pretty good, like, regardless of what time it is. Like, I can pop awake, and then 2 or 3 hours later, my body will be like, hey, you only have an hour of sleep, right? Like, we're about to shut down. Like,
no,
at work,
I can operate physically just fine. Like, I don't like necessarily drag ass or anything, but like mentally, like I don't wake up for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we had 6 submissions forecasting our record for the WTC.
Ooh.
Jeremy, out of the 6, how many think we're going to finish below 500 as a team?
0.
6.
Oof. One of you is correct.
Ooh. I called it. Everyone heard me.
It's Jeremy.
Oh, damn it.
Now, what I will say...
We appreciate the sport, guys.
Yeah. There is a much wider divergence in the actual records. Our combined individual records will be.
Combined individual records. So, like, total games?
Correct. Out of 25 games, what are our win-loss individually in the 25 games going to be? I will say no one thinks that we will be below 500, but there are multiple 13 and 12s.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would guess 3 or more people voted below 16 games.
3 is exactly correct. The highest is 19 and 6, so clearly
just
we
high
have...
enough to not win.
Yeah. What I find interesting,
No,
though,
we can win with that. Yeah, we can win with that.
Oh, yeah.
The highest 15 could theoretically...
10. You could have 10 losses and win.
Yeah, 15 and 10 technically could win the event. But you would be fucking right in the razor's edge.
So one question is, how many tablings will there be, win or lose, out of those 25 games?
Oh, during all of our games, how many of the 50 total players have 0 models at the end of the game?
Well,
because counting us and our opponents?
No. Well, we can't obviously table each other at the same time. So you can only ever get one tabling in a game.
Right, but of the 50 players, the tabling could go either direction.
This is correct, yes.
Yeah.
So of the 25 games, how many will result in a tabling of us or the opponent?
I'm going to go with 4. I'm guessing.
You're guessing. Jeremy, I wanted you to go first. What's your guess?
How many games?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Out of the 25 games we play, either us or our opponents, how many people will be tabled?
0.
0.
You're not going to table anyone?
No, I usually don't table anyone.
You need to give me CGR. You are no longer allowed. Permission revoked.
I mean, we also have a Midnight Suns player where we're playing into CGR. Like, I only lose to CGR when I get tabled, so...
Okay.
Our listeners think it's between 2 and 9.
Ooh, that's... 9's a lot. There's only 25 games. That's a third of the games.
9 is a significant number.
You guys are crazy.
I want to say I've never been tabled, but I think I might have been tabled once. This is in 1,000
that's just
games.
because you keep scooping right before it happens. He's like, no one's ever going to use High Council against me. Richard Moore picks up the High Council card and goes, I scoop!
So for the purposes of this question, if someone concedes with a likely tabling on the board, we'll count it as a tabling.
Yeah, we'll make a little check in the notebook for you guys.
Exactly.
And that will get it to 2. I think 4 is a high guess. Tablings don't happen that often. Excuse me.
They've been happening a lot recently.
A lot more recently, sure.
Like in a generic tournament, I would say 25 to 35% of the games are ending in a tabling. I think.
Really?
Yeah. I think it will be less than that at the WTC. 1, not everyone can bring a super murder list. And 2, I think the quality of the opponents will be a little better that won't, quote unquote, let their models get tabled. Really,
yeah,
sometimes
they'll fight to the bitter end instead of checking out. Because I know once you're like super behind in a lot of those games, they just kind of check out. They're like, whatever, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. And sometimes your opponent helps you by putting people where they shouldn't. So I just think better players will play a little cagier. Having said that, I do know that there are some top quality players that just go pure gas. Like no, there's no cage. There's just all aggression. So I don't know. I think it'll be less than 25% of the games, which is
that'd be
6. 25 times 25 is 6.25.
25 not 20. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it'll be around 3 to 4.
That's what I guess.
Yeah, you guessed 4. I hedged my guess by giving 2 guesses.
You should have heard Kenny last night. I was asking him questions about WTC and certain people playing certain people, and he's like, "Well, I guess it'd be between 40 and 50%. So like not a coin flip. It'd probably be like a really strong to a really bad." He was just like he was hedging everything he said. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. All right.
If he didn't give me at least 2-1 odds to beat Pat, I'm going to beat Kenny in the face next time I see him.
We talked about that specific matchup for the longest amount of time.
I'm calling out both Kenny and Pat.
Yeah, I told him that your plan was to challenge Pat. He was like, "Come at me."
Oh yeah, I will be on this table. Let us meet to the death.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you have to tell me what were his odds.
Well, do you want me to tell you on the cast?
Fuck yeah!
All right, here we go. Have you ever played Pat before?
No.
Okay, not even on TTS.
Correct.
Kenny has played him 3 times, and he's played you more than 3 times.
This is true.
He gave you a 10%. I'm just kidding. He did not do that. He said between 40 and 50. I said 45%. I said it's going to be a close game regardless, and I think it will just lean one direction. So we're rooting for you, buddy. We think
you think there's a shot. You don't think I will, but there's a shot.
Yeah. So the real thing, like because we're solely going on player skill and not at all on lists. So what team is he on? Lions?
Yeah. He's running pure Inhumans for the most part.
No CGR?
No.
Yeah, there he is. Okay. I want to see his list. He's got Dynamo, Miles, Zemo, and Logan for splashes.
Yeah, he won't run Dynamo against me.
Yeah, I figure not. Man, I don't know. I think you're advantaged in that matchup, but
it is definitely not a list I'm afraid against from a list perspective. Black Bolt could just fucking go off and one shot all of my characters through DR and healing, and I think that's his. I think the game comes down to how well Black Bolt rolls, to be honest.
Yeah.
Assuming none of us make positional errors. I think
I think you have the tools for sure. So I think I would if we put you into him, I would feel solid about that. I'd be like, okay, I don't think I don't think we're disadvantaged. I think Aaron's like, we'll call it 51%.
Until I beat Pat in any game that we have not yet to play, I'm never going to say I'm 51% into Pat in any list.
I'm going to say it. That way we can say if you lose, you just got unlucky.
Okay.
It's 51%.
Okay.
Wait, it's his home turf, so he's got to have a plus.
Well, it's not.
No, you don't get to count all of Europe as your home turf.
Yeah,
that's true. His plugs won't fit there either.
That's true.
I would like to pre-apologize to everyone here for the curse that is Brandon, us pulling bad matchups. Every event I play in, I just draw like the fucking worst matchups ever. And I did that for us in WTC as well. We were the pair up twice. And both times was into the leading team. I'm like, God damn it. Like,
I was going to say, I don't think there is a bad draw in this matchup because it's 32. Well, there might be 31 teams, but after round 1, there'll be an even number of winners.
No, I'm just saying in general. But also, so when I went for War Machine WTC, we rated all the matchups. We're like, okay, so here's clearly the best 3 teams. Because these are teams that there's no public relations interaction here. This is 100% their best players all on one team. And they're super practiced with their lists. And then here's the teams that are kind of competing and stuff. So we played 2 of those 3 teams and went 3-3. I'm like, how did we pull 2 of them?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree. 2 is rough. But if we go up against the quote unquote best team and we lose, and okay, does it matter if that was round 1 or round 6? Not really.
Well, it does if it's round 6 because there's only 5 rounds.
Whatever, you're right.
And we would have already
Round
won.
6.
It's too late.
Yes. So I guess that's why I'm saying it doesn't really matter. Now, where you could get screwed is you play, let's call them Team 1, you go into round 2, and like Team 2 beat Team 3, and now you have to face Team 3 in your second round in the round of losers brackets. That's when stuff gets rough, but like whatever.
Yeah.
So don't lose, and we're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So my actual goal for the WTC is that each one of us wins one game.
That's is that like your like tier 1 of Kickstarters? Like, guys, just tier 1, let's just get a game in. Like,
no. So the tier 1 is just to go have the experience, meet people, talk to people, just have a good time rolling dice. Right. So I will be personally disappointed if we don't meet the other goals, but I'm not going to be like depressed and forlorn. Right. Like there are going to be teams out of 32 that win 0 out of 5. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Should they feel like
team.
absolute losers going home from this quote unquote most prestigious MCP event in the world? I sure as hell hope not.
No, I don't think anyone leaving at this level of competition should feel bad.
Right. So again,
although I will say if we go 5-20, I will feel bad.
Sure. I mean, I'm not going to feel bad if you lose. Like, I don't give a shit. But as the captain, right, I want everyone to be put into situations where they're able to have good games and at least win a match. That's kind of what I want for the team. Like, I don't want to throw, Jeremy under the bus into the hardest matchup every round. Have the team go, okay, if we go 5-0, then Jeremy can suck it. But if we go like 3-2, but Jeremy always eats the worst matchup and goes 0-5, I personally would not feel great about that result.
I would feel great about that.
Okay, Jeremy was
Honestly,
a bad example.
No. But I will speak up on this, though. If I have to tackle that kind of situation and we are winning because of that, that's fine. But I will say, though, if I'm tackling the worst matchup and I'm still losing those games, like, maybe I'm insane, but I don't believe I lose all those games. Like,
losing 5 in a row in any setting in MCP is actually rough. Like, going 5-0 in MCP in the exact same way is hard.
I don't think that happens.
Yeah. This game, I know we compare it to War Machine a lot because it's a lot of the same community, it's a lot of the same developers, but it is not even close. Like, the War Machine was down to a percentage science. Like, if I told you I had a 63% matchup, I win 63% of these games. Like, exactly to the point. Like, it is very reliable. We know exactly what the numbers are. But in this, it's like, dude, it's the Wild West out there. Anything could fucking happen. It's like professional wrestling is the way I would equate it, actually. It's like, yeah, we all know what's supposed to happen, but you never know when a guy's going to come out of the back with a sledgehammer, and you're just like, fuck, I got wrecked. Like, what happened? Like, nobody knows.
Yeah. So anyway, those are my goals. 1, show up, have fun time. Number 2, everyone wins a game. After that, the next tier is to go 3-2 as a team. I would be happy with that.
My serious goal, or my dream goal, much like Will Ferrell in Semi-Pro, is 4th place.
I just want to. I would love us to have good games with people that have fun. Fun games at the end of it where you have fun. And like for me, that honestly is not always easy. Like, and I mean, you guys know that for me, like personally, I don't always have a fun game. And I don't think it's fucking me. Like, some people come with like these agendas and they're going to try and put their fucking agendas on me. And I can tell you, I've grown up in an area in my life where like, I will not be bullied. You will not try and put your position on a fucking tabletop against me. Like, we're going to play a game together. And if I can have 5 games where we're on equal turf and we just laugh and have a fucking good time, dude, I don't care if I win or lose. I've had lots of games like that at tournaments, and it doesn't matter. It's just like, high five and fucking call it, dude. Like, we spent a shitload of money to get here. Let's have a good time. Like, if I can have 5 games that are fun and awesome and really are trying, and like I feel like I had a chip, like I feel like I could have done something, sweet, man. I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
No, I plan on playing every game like it's Thursday night. Like, need to move a model back? Sure. Like, I don't care. Just, obviously I'm not going to let them, we're not going to fudge models to be in positions like, oh, I'm just out of 2. Like on Thursday, I'll be like, nudge, nudge, looks like you're in 2. So I will hold them to their decisions and their movements, but after I'm not going to call a judge and be like, they said X, whatever. I don't want to be that guy at a tournament. I want to treat it like a really fun game, like Jeremy's talking about. Go and have a good time.
Yeah, I let them create the environment. I never create the environment. I never am the one who does this stuff. I let them tell me how the game is going to be played, almost always. And like even Parker says, like the first time I met Parker and we played on the table, like, and he started doing his thing and I was like expressing to him like what I thought the game should be. And he still to this day is like, thank God you did that, because I brought him into tabletop gaming the way it's supposed to be done. Like, and now that we're playing in tournaments and stuff, like this is how it is. Like, we just kind of play, and how you tell me how you want to play it. You line your things up, and it doesn't have to be fucking rocket science, dude. Like, I know what you're trying to accomplish. Accomplish it. It's fine. You don't have to like bring out a micrometer and prove to me every move that you're making is just. It's like, dude, you're trying to get behind the car. Get behind the car. You're fine. I swear to God, you're fine. Like, it's okay.
Sure, sometimes they might not actually make it though, based on geometry. Like I would love to pick this up, be within one of you, and get cover. Oh,
well, when they start pulling tools out and starting to make angles and craziness, and like things start to get like a little dicey, and they do spend a lot of time fidgeting with things, then it makes me start paying a lot of attention. Because they are trying to accomplish something that looks like they can't. Then it becomes interesting. But like simply moving a model, you know what I mean? When you just start moving things, it's like, just do it.
When people like are double moving medium to their back F point, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, just put it down. Like, and it's like they got like the one out. They're like measuring, like changing the angle. We're just like, dude, just put him down. Like, you're fine.
Yeah,
We all know where you're supposed to be. The only thing is, you can obviously get to where you're trying to get to, and you're legally allowed to measure it. Just put him there. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when I start pulling out all the things, it's to prove to myself that what I'm doing is okay.
Yeah, it's usually, it's all, I mean, so much of the game is intent. Like, what are you trying, what is your intent on this, and can you do it? And mostly, as long as people are clear about it, and just like, I'm going to go here, obviously I can get there, and this and that. It's like, yeah, okay, do it, like, cool. And then you do your thing, and they do their thing, and that's usually not the thing that beats you. The thing that beats you is, 3 turns from now, when you didn't get set up, and they got set up, and you get fucking waxed. I mean, that's the thing that gets you. Not that, not the move and a half that they managed to make on turn 1. So what kind of food do you think they have over there?
Can be worse than the food in Belgium. That was the worst food I've ever had. I don't think it was a good representation of the story as a whole. So just to point out, I'm not shit talking Belgium. I'm saying the event produced the worst food I've ever seen. Like, I've been to $3 Chinese buffets that had better quality food.
When you said that, it reminded me of Train Spotting, where it says the worst toilet in Scotland. It was like this tiny little disgusting toilet, and it was labeled like, it was written across the screen, worst toilet in Scotland. It was like horrible.
It won an award. The award is this warning label.
Yeah, I feel like I need to know what they're known for so we can get something.
We'll
do something.
See what they choose to have for the buffets and lunches. I think they're going to be fine because they're being served in the airport, right? Like the hotel is providing, I think, all the food, which will cater to a wide variety of palates. What I will say, though, is having lived in Norway for 2 years, you don't want to try Danish food.
No,
traditional.
What is Danish food?
So all of the Nordic countries' traditional food is utterly disgusting because it's what they had to subsist on when they were like dirt poor in the 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's become traditional food. So like your pickled herring.
Nope.
Like they would before refrigeration, they would take like cod and fish and throw it in a hole and then dig it up 6 months later. And so there's a Norwegian word called the rockfisk. Rock is the word for rotten in Norwegian, so it's literally rotten fish that you have to douse in so much of a sauce to hide the flavor.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the quote unquote traditional,
No,
food.
we don't want that.
Right. So
I want what the kids are eating.
Yeah, I want current Danish food, which is what I assume they're going to serve at the airport, the hotel.
Do you guys have good curry here? Do you guys have good curry?
So we'll see what they end up serving.
Yeah, everything we had at the Belgium WTC was so overcooked and unseasoned that it was just like chewy blocks of texture that had no flavor whatsoever. It was gross.
Tofu. You had a lot of tofu?
No, like it was. So imagine you took a sausage, like a link of sausage, that had absolutely no seasoning in it. It was just some weird combination of like chicken and pork. Then you boiled it for 12 hours. I'm not exaggerating. Imagine what it would be like to eat that. It was like so close to crunchy while also being flexible. Like it was like trying to eat like driftwood. It was so hard to physically eat because it was so tough and overcooked and also had no flavor at all.
Yeah, that tends to be a lot of that kind of stuff. Like my ex-wife's family, they always talked about German food and stuff, and it was like, let's go to German restaurants and do it. I'm like, it's all just boiled stuff. I'm like, I don't want boiled stuff.
Yeah. And everything else was fried, but not like fried. It was like overly cooked fried. Like there was no tender, there was no juicy. It was just like rock hard meat again that was coated in greasy bread. It was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Other than, Thai, Chinese, Japanese, that kind of your Far East Asian foods, German is by far my favorite food. That shit is delicious. Yes, some pork schnitzel with Spätzle. Oh my god, it's delicious.
My favorite by far European food is Italian food. I had lasagna on the town square in Bruges, and also I had the only reason I think I didn't die of starvation, actually, like I thought I was like getting like woozy because I hadn't eaten in 2 days and I just drank a lot of beer. We found a little Italian pizza place within walking distance of the hotel, and I got a whole pizza and a pound of Alfredo, and it was amazing. I ate all of it in one sitting. I was like, that was so good. I still have a picture of the place on my phone. I'm like, this place saved my life. Like, I was going to die. Right.
So what are the new lists that are coming by storm? Like, what do you think? What is the list that excite you guys when we get back to actually put together and start playing?
For, like, new models?
Yeah.
I'm not really that interested in the new core set. New Ultron looks cool. The rest of them are all going to be good. I'm just not that excited to play them. I'm more excited to play the stuff I've just not been able to play because of WTC practice. Like, I want to try building a new complication list, and I want to try new defenders. I want to try Cable, like all that stuff.
Cable looks so good, right?
Cable, he looks fun, more importantly. Like, Cable's always been kind of fun. He just didn't have the gas to get there. And so he was always disappointing. Now I think he's fun and not disappointing. And, very excited about Cable. But yeah, I'm like, I want to try CGR in Convocation. I just want to play Midnight Suns for a bit, because they're like my favorite kind of smashy, which is just like, they just get in your face and kill you.
Yeah.
I want to try that. But they also have like cool tools. But ever since we started practicing for WTC, originally Jeremy was on Midnight Suns. And so I haven't played Midnight Suns since like April, because there was always a time when somebody else was on it. And then I switched to webs so that I could practice, and it's just been that for the last 6 months.
I'm with Brandon for the most part. I want to play some Defenders, Wakanda, Inhumans. Maybe try splashing a new character in. I haven't really thought about it too much.
Yeah.
I think new Shield is fire. It's just not different than old Shield, like significantly. So I'm not super inspired by that. New Steve is super interesting and slightly enticing. Those are the two leaders that are quasi appealing out of the core box.
Steve looks boring as shit to play, but he looks very good.
Isn't that his shtick? He's always supposed to be boring as shit. And then...
Kind of. Like, yeah, he's just like, here's my leader. He kind of stands there. Your turn.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay. I mean, it'll probably be more exciting than old Steve, but old Steve isn't exciting at all.
Sure.
It's more that he just turns on abilities, right? Like, he's going to let you do cool things with other models.
Correct, 100%. But you can play him more aggressively, right? So he's not just a bodyguard sitting on the back. So I played him in one game this morning, actually. The power economy on your team is super interesting to try to evaluate when playing New Steve, I think. Like, you've got 4 power on Valkyrie. Well, do I charge Warrior of Legend? Do I walk and attack you with Warrior of Legend so I have a power left to be able to use leadership? Et cetera, et cetera. So if you're not at the right power state, you have to make some rather interesting decisions. Now, if you're flush with power, then sure, it's just pure gas. But until then, I think there are some player decisions that are very interesting.
Until sticking with one list, I really didn't realize how much I enjoy just showing up with a bunch of different stuff every single Thursday. Man, I miss that a lot. I'm just excited to show up with a bunch of different things, different ideas, and just splash different things.
I'm happy I decided to practice the stuff I did, like webs, for so long. The only regret I have as far as like practice was I wish I had done more targeted matchup practice as opposed to just playing pickup games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish I had been like, oh, I need to play into, pick whatever. Like, I need to play into Asgard 3 times. I need to play into A-Force 3 times. Like, I wish I'd done that more.
I'm either going to wish I'd done more of that or totally not cared.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done that, and then you end up playing in the, WTC against fucking Winter Guard with Eye-Hulk. And you're like, well, this wasn't a matchup I practiced. So you either spend a ton of time practicing what you think are the, top 10-ish best lists and or matchups you're going to face, and then face none of them, and then wonder what you did with half your life. Or you don't practice at all, and you'll be like, man, one game would have really helped me out. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. But I did practice into Winter Guard, so...
Well, you're weird. Okay, we know who we're throwing into Winter Guard, then.
I know, it's bad for me. I told you. They're really good in the webs.
Dude, that bear spender is good.
I mean, the AMG devs would not send someone into battle barehanded.
Oh, Jesus. I was not prepared to be staggered.
That's okay. It's probably going to daze you anyway, so it won't even matter.
Yeah, I love it when my spenders add a condition. I'm like, what the hell?
On damage, though. Like, it's like on damage. Like, cool, so only if I kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got these kind of tiers going on. So we've got the first tier of affiliations at WC for popularity are Guardians, Criminals, Avengers are all at 21. Then we've got the next tier down is X-Men, Webs, Brotherhood are like 13 to 17. And then the next tier down is Shield, Defenders, Midnight Suns, Cabal, and Black Order all at 10.
So, Black Order is a fallacy, but go ahead.
I totally agree with that. If you want, you can throw Wakanda at 9 instead. That's fine.
Sure.
But that whole group is all I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think any of these groups are going to stand out when it comes to wins? Like, do you think there's the 21 people playing Avengers, Criminals, and Guardians are all going to do well? Do you think that they're going to have a bad showing?
I said before, I specifically think Criminals and Brotherhood will each be below 50% win rate.
Okay. And that's because of the team format?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would have said Brotherhood would have been below 50% without the team matchup.
I think Criminals are a 4-2 team without it. So whatever 66% win rate is, with the team format, I think they'll be around 40.
Cool. How about this? Which affiliation do you think will have the highest win percentage?
Ooh, that's spicy.
With like minimum 5 games.
Guardians.
I have an answer. Guardians. Inhumans.
You fucker.
What?
You're just because of Pat.
No.
No?
No.
He thinks they're good.
So I think they're good. 3 of the top 7 rated players on Longshanks in this event are playing Inhumans, including Pat. So It's not just Pat.
Okay.
But Aaron, you're going to beat Pat. We talked about this already.
51%.
I know,
easy.
Right?
51%.
I got it in the bag.
Vegas odds.
All right, Jeremy, what did you say? Guardians?
Guardians.
So we got Guardians, Avengers, Inhumans. I think those are all teams that I would expect to finish with quite good percentages.
I think X-Men. Ooh, I'm going to say X-Men are going to be below 50 as well.
I agree with that.
Which is weird. I think 2 of the top 4 most taken affiliations are going to be below 50%.
Mm-hmm. Well, but I think part of it, like, despite them being weak in the team matchup, they do force, like, we've been looking at matchups lately, they do force your opponent's hand on what you can play into them, which allows them to manipulate the pairings, which I think is really strong. I absolutely want more events to host this format. I think the 5-man team format is so interesting, and it tells you a lot about the meta that you wouldn't see in a vacuum. I want this to be like an every 6-month type of event. And so if nobody else is going to do it, we'll host like a 5-person invitational team tournament or something if we have to.
I think the variety is incredible. The ability to spread it out in this way.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we got such a just like diversity of affiliations blows me away. I didn't think it'd be near this diverse. I thought we'd have, there's like 5 to 6 affiliations that are in the 20 range, and then the rest of them would be like 5 and less. Now, obviously, some of these numbers are inflated because of dual affiliations with like technical drop-ins that don't really count, like Hydra. How many Hydra lists are just because you have Red Skull 2? Like, how many Black Order lists are because you have Thanos and you're not really going to play Black Order? Like, that, I think there's a strong argument if we went through and somebody cared to go through and prune the false data and actually get a true representation, probably a little bit more telling, but it's still very diverse. It's still way more diverse than I would have expected, which is great. I love that. I love that the whole game is represented, except for Sentinels and Weapon X. I love that I fucking called Weapon X being dog shit. That's great. I hate that affiliation so much.
It definitely has caused you the most anger.
They're just not good. Like, if you are a super casual player and you just like the models, I think they're a good place to play. Like, I actually think that's a good affiliation for you. But for somebody who's trying to compete in the game, if you're just like, they have the best dice, so I'm going to play them, I understand your decision, but you're basically saying I'm a bad player in your decision-making process because they just don't have, like, counterplay ability. You just kind of run at your opponent and press buttons. Like, you could literally write down on a single sheet of notebook paper a flowchart to play Weapon X, and it would be accurate.
That doesn't mean it's bad, though.
No, I don't think they're not competitive. I just think they're bad because they remove all player skill from your side. And generally speaking, when we're talking about, like, if you were playing against somebody you considered to be a better player than you, Weapon X is a very good affiliation because you are not going to make mistakes while playing them. If you were playing against somebody worse than you and you play Weapon X, it's a bad choice because you're removing your ability to make good plays and you're just putting the game on the dice. That's why I don't like them. Like, if you're ever in a heads-up matchup, you should always be hoping that you're a better player or at least comparable to your opponent. Therefore, you want to make all of the decisions in the game. So if you've got a list that's just like run downhill and very little decision making, you generally don't want to play that versus something that where you have a lot of choices because you want the ability to change the game in a way that favors you.
I get it. You could make the same argument for CGR. You just point, click, delete models, win games.
Yeah, but even he has like more play. I think he has more lines of play than Weapon X does because of the ability for him to move stuff on the board and his mobility.
See, and I think any list will have options for player decision making. Going back to my Weapon X with Thanos and Guardian Samara, and where do I move Logan turn 1 to be able to best execute people. I don't know. I don't think any affiliation in any game is devoid of player choice.
It's not devoid. I just think it has the lowest of every affiliation in the game.
Ooh. I'd have to actually think about that. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong on that. I'd have to think about it.
Like, the most interactive model on their entire team is Apex, which, don't get me wrong, Apex is a great model, but, like, the only decision-making process he has is where to leap and where to throw. And the where to throw is by far the more important of those two, because the where to leap is literally like a math problem. You can figure out where he's supposed to go. Like, the where to throw is more complex because it opens up more opportunities. And then, like, everything in their affiliation is like obvious button. Like, who do I give the dossier to? Or I play dossier, my opponent gives it to somebody. I respond to what they do. It's like, oh, you attack me, I choose to use memory tokens. You're like, everything they do is either reactive or press attack button.
Okay.
I think they touched you sometime and I think you've never let it go.
Oh, you think I don't like them because I lose to them?
No, because you one time lost to them. Or at least you lost a model to them one time.
No, I definitely got upset at them because
this is personal, not business.
People would not shut up about them.
Oh.
And so it's more of like an opinion. They're like, oh man, new Weapon X looks so cool. I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, because they've got new logos. Like, he's in more affiliations than just that one. And also, I don't know if you knew this, you can play unaffiliated models. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just play Storm and have a good leadership and a good model and like more good stuff? And they're like, Weapon X. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I was so annoyed. But no, it's just, I think they're a bad affiliation. They're a collection of good models that does not support them.
And they are a niche affiliation. I think it is a bad leadership, but you could build a strategy like I did to specifically leverage the leadership, which is I'm throwing Logan into your team turn 1. Like, you're going to have to deal with him, and I'm going to burn these 3 tokens turns 1 and 2, like to maximize the amount of, tempo I can put into you. I was like straight up tabling people on 3. Just with the amount of damage that I could do. And the memory tokens helping me stay alive to be able to do it. Now, is that good? Not necessarily. But it is leveraging the leadership in a specific way as opposed to, I guess on turn 3 I'll spend a token. Right? I mean, I had a plan that I wanted to execute with respect to using the leadership aggressively. So it can be done.
By that justification, I would argue that you just play Miles' leadership and do the same thing. Like, I'm going to get a reroll on every defense roll. It's like the same math. Like, I'm not saying throwing Logan at them is a bad strategy. You built a strategy that works. I'm just saying that Weapon X didn't really help you do that. It's just that you have a broken model that you're pushing at your opponent.
Well, pushing, launching,
Space Gem getting forward. Him there is cool, but like isn't going out to get some air not affiliated?
It is not, but so right. I was also doing it with Thanos and Desecrating his attacks, so you can't play Thanos and Logan under Miles, like that's far too many points. So
currently you cannot, that is correct.
I will totally get on board by saying Weapon X is a subpar affiliation, way below 50% in this game. I do not think you're objectively wrong for trying it out.
No, I don't think anything in the game is so bad that you can't try it out. I just think that they are... People think they're, like, better than they are. I think they are second or third worst affiliation, maybe. Probably second worst. And it's just primarily because all of their good models that everyone raves about are literally in other affiliations.
So I agree when you say you should be playing a different affiliation. I will disagree that they are the second worst affiliation in the game. Like, when you have Sentinels and Winter Guard, like, 1 and 2 are capped. Like, plus Dark Dimension, like, there's no way they're any less than 4th.
I think Dark Dimension is better than Weapon X. Because by playing Dark Dimension, you're accomplishing something you couldn't otherwise accomplish. If you're choosing Weapon X, you could literally play X-Force.
Sure. I'm talking added tournament.
Yeah.
If you had 5 of every affiliation required to be present.
Oh, no, they compete. Their results
that's what
are
I'm
better
saying.
Than second.
Yes.
That's not my argument. I'm not saying that their results are the second worst. I'm saying choosing to play them is the second worst decision you can make.
I will respect the way in which you choose to
right. So,
give an
like, let's
opinion.
say there's a new affiliation that comes out tomorrow that is identical to Inhumans, except that they get to use old Black Bolt and not the new Black Bolt. That would be the worst affiliation in the game because it's costing you more than any other affiliation because you could just play a better one.
So
and you're just making the choice to play a worse affiliation.
Different definitions on worst affiliation. In my world, worst affiliation is in a competitive environment. How well will they do against the other affiliations?
Right.
Not could you have made a better decision?
Sure. And so we're just talking semantics of like which words you use to define it.
Well, it's important because our listeners have their own definition of semantics.
Totally agree. That is totally agree. It's like Sentinels probably have the worst win record in the game. And so by argument, you could probably say that they're the worst affiliation if you want to go by results metrics. Weapon X does not have bad results metrics. They win games. I just think they're a bad affiliation because they don't give you the tools you need to win the games that you are losing.
Okay, in the past year, what are the 4 worst affiliations according to Longshank's data, Jeremy?
And this is percentage, not results, right?
This is percentage-based, correct.
Sentinels.
You got 1 out of 4.
Wait, hold on. Is unaffiliated a faction?
I will refuse to consider them a faction.
Okay.
They're on here,
I'm
but
just
they don't
confirming
count.
because if we get to the end, and you're like, it was unaffiliated. I'm like, I'm gonna
I
hate you.
understand. No.
Okay.
Dark Dimension.
No.
Yeah, I predict that. I'm hesitant to even pick Winter Guard. I'm gonna go with Winter Guard though.
You are correct. 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
There are 2 more that in the past year had a below 45% win rate.
Defenders.
Correct?
Ooh, yeah, that was a sneaky one.
Yeah.
Black Order.
No. They were 46.
Ooh.
This one you will also hit yourself in the head for.
A-Force.
Nope.
Weapon
Inhumans.
X.
Nope.
Not Inhumans. Oh, X-Force.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 worst. Now, if I restrict the data to the past 2 months, September and October.
So X-Force and not X-Force and Inhumans. X-Force and
Defenders are no longer in the bottom 4.
Yeah.
What replaced
yeah,
them?
for sure. Hydra.
Nope.
Spider Foes.
Nope. You will cackle with one of them, Brandon, and one of you said
Weapon
the other
X.
one.
Weapon X.
Weapon X
Weapon
is
X.
correct.
Weapon X.
So Weapon X in the past year is 6th out of 24. But in the past month and a half, in albeit very low sample size, it's 22nd. And the other
that's
one's
the issue. Yeah.
Dark Dimension. Yeah.
Anytime you restrict the data like that, it's all sample size stuff.
This
Like,
is
what if
clearly just for fun.
only new players are playing them. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm on board. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hold on, we got to go back to the actual data. Okay. Highest win rate. There are 4 of them tied at 54%.
Avengers.
Say it again?
Avengers.
No.
Liar.
Avengers have always been a middling affiliation.
Small, fringe, dark horse, casual.
No, because all the new people play Avengers and they bring down the win rates.
Highest wins currently. Inhumans. Is this current data? Or
No.
old data?
This is
Okay.
for a year.
Guardians.
Correct. Guardians are tied at the top. What are the other 3?
Wakanda.
No.
Webs.
No, and that's
I
surprising.
didn't think it was webs.
They used to be. They're not anymore.
Oh, criminals.
Yep. Criminals are tied for top.
There's 1 more or 2 more.
2 more that are tied at 54.
I don't think it's Shield.
It is Shield.
Okay, that confuses me.
You'll hit yourself with this next one too.
X-Men.
Yep. So now, what I will say is that's the top at 54, and other than the 4 we named at the bottom, everything is 45 or above. So
That's
ideally, you'd like everything 50-ish, but in my mind, 45 to 55 is totally fine.
It's pretty
Yeah.
acceptable.
So,
in most competitive circles, anything within 5% of neutral is considered good.
Yep. Now, the quote-unquote problem is that the winning affiliations, if you looked at games played, vastly outnumber the quote-unquote losing affiliations. So it still means that there is an identifiable and more readily played bunch of affiliations that I think is slightly problematic. I mean, you could say that, A-Force is fine at 45%, but they're still played at a third of the rate of, Guardians, for example. I would like to see those numbers spread out some more, although part of that is personal preference, but there is a large part of that is competition bias.
Yeah. Like, as an example, if you were to say, what's a good example here? This is harder now that everything just got changed. So let's say you said Asgard was a bad affiliation. I think a lot of people said they were not they were not super competitive for like the last year or so. Because people say there's a consensus that they're not super cutting edge competitive.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will not choose to play them, and therefore the only people playing them are the people that are not very experienced, which will lead to them having a lower win rate than they actually could have if there was an even representation throughout the meta. And then sometimes also on the counterpoint, just because people think something's good, they kind of jump on it, and then they simultaneously bring the numbers down because they're inexperienced with said faction.
Yep.
All right. Is there any other WTC talk you guys would like to do before we move on? How about character-wise? Do we think CGR is going to absolutely crush?
I think he's going to break hearts. Absolutely.
Can you just imagine being one of those 5 teams that didn't take CGR? Seems rough.
I think things are going to happen that should not happen because of him.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do the work, but I'm pretty sure CGR's teams would have a higher than 50% win rate.
I mean, you could just look at his CGR's performance also.
How?
You could just go. I'm sure there'll be a breakdown of how many games they were played in and how many games they won. Isn't that part of Longshank's data? Oh no, because he's not a leader. Yeah.
You'd have to actually figure out which list that person is in, and then individually tally up that person's results, which is not hard. But again, I'm not going to spend the hour to do it. So
yeah, you'd also have to know that they played CGR in those games. Yeah,
right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
we could just look at the 5 teams that didn't have CGR and look at their ranking at the end. That would be the easy way to do it. But you'd have to look up who doesn't have them.
But you don't know if CGR won their game or the CGR
Right.
player won without doing more in-depth analysis.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head it'd be easier than I expected, and it's not, because in this you don't play everyone. I'm used to War Machine where it's like, yeah, he has this, so he played it, like, because he has to. Like, and I was like, oh yeah, you don't have to play it.
Oh, this is cute.
I know
Go
when we were doing our matchups, any teams that didn't have CGR, we write in all caps at the top list, no CGR. It's like, all right, so everyone knows, like, you don't have to look for CGR.
Looking at the past year's data, there are still 158 games played at 14 threat. Aw, makes me a little nostalgic. That number will go to 0 shortly.
It will indeed go to 0 shortly. Well, yeah.
Middle of November, right?
Yeah.
When the new scenarios came out last year?
Yeah, well, you're also assuming people don't use the old points. I think it's actually still an option in Longshanks to select 14 points.
That sounds wrong.
Now, so there will probably be a couple just because people incorrectly selected. Like, meant to hit 15 and didn't pay attention. Alrighty.
Yeah, there are 7 played after January 30th of this year. Who was playing those games?
That's why I'm saying, like, dude, data's not always accurate or
I know.
important. Yeah. It's easy to overanalyze flawed data.
Just pisses me off. I don't care about the analysis.
I know, right? You're just like, how? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, because Extended still uses the new missions. Yeah, there should be no reason.
1 game since June 3rd. Who are you? I want to find you.
Gotta find this person.
who either played or wrongly input a Threat 14 game since June 3rd of this year. I'm going to hunt you down.
I'm going to create phantom tournaments on Longshanks and just have everyone report their games of 14 threat. It's going to be great. It's like, why are there 600 games of fucking 14 threat? Like,
the same person who played on Terrigen Clouds. You pig fuckers.
You can't make me print out new missions. You can't do it.
That's how you get Quentin out of the top 5. You got to create all these games.
I've really considered making a fake tournament and putting Parker in it playing A-Force and just have him lose to new accounts so he loses his ranking.
Oh,
you're so bad.
And he drops out of the leaderboard of A-Force. I'm just trying to correct the world. We're in a divergent alternate reality where Parker is leader of A-Force.
Oh, God.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it and do the post-ramble. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate your good luck wishes and do not appreciate your bad luck wishes. Thanks for joining us. This has been Brandon.
And Jeremy.
And Aaron.
And you've just listened to The Gang Wins 51% of Their Games.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.
We did it.
God damn.
It only took 161 attempts, but now we are good at this.
I wouldn't call it good.
I wouldn't say we.
Ooh.
Some are better than others.
I agree with that. Everyone's like, I'm the best.
I've had better.
I've had better. I've had worse.
Alright, so hear me out. I have this idea for a new list.
Oh, yeah?
You take Jean and Ebony Maw for double shut-up cards. By the way, is it Scarlet Witch? Scarlet Witch and Ebony Maw. It's going to be good. I can feel it.
Welcome to the 90s.
To the 90s.
Welcome to the 90s.
That's a movie series I've been meaning to go back and watch. I'm curious if it ages well. Is Austin Powers, because I remember it was like a phenomenon in the like early 2000s, late 90s. Just imagine this time tomorrow will be somewhere near the border of Illinois.
Oh my god, dude! I was so productive today already. Like I did at least 1.5 days worth of things in half a day.
Yeah, I have not yet been productive, but I can feel it coming. I've done a couple things. Well, I didn't wake up until Aaron called me, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why is Aaron calling me at like fucking the crack of dawn? And I'm like, oh god, what's going on? And I get online, he's like, oh, apparently we're going to record soon, so I get up. So I went into my garage, and I found my miniatures case I'm going to use to transport my models. I emptied it, and that's all I've done so far. But we're getting.
It was filled with mealworms that you were growing a farm.
No, you might think such, but I bet Aaron, can you guess what was in it?
Snakeskin.
No, 3 Blood Bowl teams.
That's 26 less than there should have been.
Oof. On the Blood Bowl topic, did you hear what Jake is doing?
I did not.
So Jake played Underworlds this year, and he's been complaining about his team all year because they're too OP. And so his plan for the playoffs is he's cutting every single positional player on his roster. And he's just going to go into the playoffs with just goblins and stotlings and rerolls. And he's going to have like 1 million plus of inducements every match. He's just going to hire the best star players and all the bribes and inducements. And he's like, what are you going to do about it? He's like Morgan Thorg and like the character Troll. And then like a bunch of stotlings and goblins.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Or not.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to love the look on people's faces. Like, you have how much money? Oh, boy.
I was trying to get stuff done this morning. I dropped my kids off at school. It was like 7:15. I didn't realize that COVID has created a world that doesn't open until like 9 o'clock now.
Dude, it's that's not the part that annoys me. Obviously,
it's fucking
like
weird.
The later. The problem is everything closes at 10.
Yeah,
everything. I'm just
it used to be everything was 24 hours.
Yeah, everything was like, I can't go grocery shopping now. Like, I just can't. Like, I have to have a day off to go grocery shopping because I have to leave work at midnight, and there's literally not a place within 30 minutes of my house that's open. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, it was like,
if only you didn't work 4 days of the week.
Right, but I have to do stuff on those other days.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, I was just, I dropped my kids off. I was like 7:15. I was like, okay, all right, I need to get my license plate sticker. I need to get an oil change. I'm like, okay, here we go. And nothing's open. Like, I can't even start. I'm like, I need to get a key made so people I'm like, shit. So I just went back to my apartment. I'm like, okay. I'm just sitting there for an hour doing nothing. But man, when I got productive, holy shit. I got everything done. I even cleaned my car. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Did you take the puke bucket out?
No, there'll always be a puke bucket.
Good. Because we're going to need that for Aaron.
It can come out of any end at any time.
You never know.
It's for any end.
You'll just be catching strays out of nowhere.
I have not thrown up in fucking, I don't know, decades.
Well, I didn't say you were going to throw up in it. I said you're going to need the bucket.
People behind us are like, someone's trying to put a ham out their window. I did end up buying a game that I thought might be kind of interesting.
Is it 20 questions? Perrin loves that game on Card Trips.
Oh, no, it's kind of sort of. Basically,
Okay.
One person asks, or one person tells something, and it's either a lie or it's a fact. And then everyone has to either make everyone believe that it's true or not true. And you win if you convince everyone the correct thing. essentially. It just seems interesting enough to play in a car. I don't know.
Cool.
It seemed interesting, and it wasn't like the standard issue thing.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, I was just like, I'll grab this. We'll see. And I also bought a giant fucking battery pack for my phone because I've been caught in situations where people have almost got murdered by me because of a phone being dead.
I also am bringing my battery pack.
Well, I was thinking also, like, okay, well, I'll get out of my car and then the plane ride, and like, that could be a long trip.
The plane should have USB chargers inside of it.
Should. It certainly should.
No,
the one that you have in front of you should work. All of those things should happen, right?
Yeah, you are correct.
I'm like, dude, I can't imagine like being the one person who, like, I can normally sleep anywhere, anytime, but like having like just that one day where I can't shut my mind up, and I'm like, I can't fucking sleep, and my phone's dead, and I'm just like looking around at people staring at their fucking screens, and like, oh no, nope.
Just watch somebody else's movie.
Ugh.
Me, Perrin, and I watched John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the way to Spain.
Oh, really?
And then he watched Matrix 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the way back. It was a Keanu
God.
marathon.
Oh, Jesus. He's so dreamy.
I
I get it now. I get it. Whoa.
I think I'm going to set my alarm and like get up at like 4 tomorrow so I can crash on the plane.
That's not a horrible idea.
You're driving. Don't do that.
Whoa. Yeah, I if it's 10 o'clock when we get on the plane and all that, or 9 o'clock, whenever that is, I should not have any issue. How long of a plane ride is it? I wasn't even paying attention.
Should be like
8.5.
7 hours, maybe 8.
Are you only counting the time the plane is in the air?
The definition of a plane ride.
Well, I mean, sitting in the plane while it does stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I downloaded some junk for Netflix. Because again, it's one of those like, oh yeah, it should have things on the plane and all that, but God knows.
I'll brace yourself, a book.
What the fuck is a book?
I know, right?
I could actually bring one of my books. That's true.
Yeah.
Although I get motion sickness if I try and read while moving, so I probably won't read, but I'll bring a book just in case. And then I'll start reading, feel terrible, and then quit. It'll be great.
My whole life, like, everyone would read books, and they could read a lot faster than me, and people would talk about, well, not really people, but sometimes, or especially teachers and my parents who are, hypocrites. You should be reading more. Well, it turns out I'm fucking dyslexic, motherfuckers. Like, it's very hard for me to fucking read. I read slow as shit, and it's very difficult to read a lot. But I do enjoy listening to books a lot. I'm just not a very fast reader.
Not sure if I have enough movies. I'm trying to find like 1 or 2 more in case you guys take mine.
I'm going to shoot from the hip on this one.
Yeah.
Like fish in a barrel.
I think we're good. I don't think you guys are going to choose too many of mine. I'm not much of a rom-com guy, so I haven't seen most of these in fucking forever.
I got in trouble for watching rom-coms when my wife was away. She'd come back, catch me watching a rom-com by myself, and just be like, what the fuck? What can I say?
I usually land on them on accident. I think they're comedies, like, and I'm like, oh, this is okay. It better be fucking good.
Yeah. Hollywood does that on purpose sometimes because they were like, hey, all we have to do is add a love interest in the movie and it appeals to a whole new demographic. So, like, they just do it. Aaron, did you see the compliment we got about episode 2?
Yes, and I went to listen to it, but I don't know how to log into Patreon, so I gave up. Because I really want to know what that was about, because I do not remember it.
I think it's because I moved the pre-ramble to the end, but we were saying something about something is basically just softcore porn, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been Ninja Scroll or something, but no, it was some stupid TV show that was just like, it was like one of those like Battlestar Galactica / like the only reason the show still exists is because the female lead is super hot and like nobody cares about anything about the show.
Mhm.
And so it was like that, and then we someone called it softcore porn, and then you're like, I'm pretty much over softcore porn, and just randomly that's where it cut. Because that's when we started talking about actual, MCP.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Okay.
I had to hack job the fucking, like, it was like a slasher film taking shit Nigel said out of the fucking episode 1. Or no, the matchups episode where we were like going through, and Nigel's just like joins the Discord randomly and just starts dropping bombs. He's like, whoa, Nigel, well, this is being recorded. Like, he's like, I said what I said. Like, okay. There are so many movies, they're just horrifically overrated. Ooh, that's a good one. All right, I'm ready.
I'm discounting all adventure romance movies,
Like, Six
Romancing
Days
the
and Seven
Stone.
Nights.
like Romancing the Stone, which is on my list. Yes. No, 6 Days, 7 Nights is not an adventure flick. I would say 6 Days, 7 Nights is all about the character development. They just happen to be fucking set on an island.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
As
like,
a kid, I was super into like desert island movies. I don't know what it was about it, and at the time I didn't know. I understand what it is now, which is like the stupidest reason to like it.
Yeah.
But I was really into anytime people were stranded somewhere. I didn't understand why, and now I know.
Cool.
Same reason I like zombie movies.
Because they're on desert islands.
No, I really like the society building aspect of starting at zero and having to build stuff with nothing. So, like, my favorite part of zombie movies in general is when they're like, okay, well, we're away from the zombies now. What do we do to survive? And then they like try and build a small like settlement or shelter or something, or like repurpose like Walking Dead is famous for this. Like, they go to a prison because a prison's actually a great place to be in a zombie apocalypse. It's extremely secure. You have multiple levels of security, and you have a large enough area to live. And then on top of all of that, you're far away from large population areas. And so, like, if you're in a zombie apocalypse and you can take over a prison, it's like the safest fucking place you can be. There's nothing around, and you've got all the, like, logistical stuff already in place. All you need is food, and you're fine. And because it's got such a large, like, footprint, you can just grow food on the like, land.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like stuff like that, like, I find really interesting. Like, being stuck on a desert island and, like, how, like, things they do to, like, survive, how to get fresh water, stuff like that. I always find that interesting. It's like survival things is what I like, not the actual setting. It's probably why I like Minecraft so much, is because you just start with nothing and you have to build everything you want.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Jeremy, as somebody who hires cooks,
Don't.
why shouldn't you hire a midget chef? It's because the stakes are too high. He laughed. It counts. fucking print it.
I like that on a couple levels.
Yeah, it's literally
That
a
was-
couple levels.
That was a little cute. Ha
Side note: why do lesbians suck at cooking? Because they always eat out.
No.
All right, those are all for Brandon. So you have to apologize to Brandon for calling his jokes bad. Alrighty, you ready to get to it?
Born ready.
Born ready. Here we go. That was fun. Jeremy, why did the chef stop cooking?
I don't know. Why did he stop cooking?
Because he ran out of time.
Oh, with the THY. Oh,
With the
shit.
THY.
I don't get it.
See, he knows how to spell time because he's a chef. Get it?
Oh, my goodness. God. Ooh, I, thank God for that Justin Herbert guy. I got all my
Oh,
bets
God.
done won. Yes. I'm back in it, motherfuckers.
Oh, you won?
Dude, I won like
Wow.
4 bets.
Herbert was bad, though. Like,
I
he
know. I
actually
didn't
was
bet on him.
bad.
I went after the Cowboys, man.
Oh, okay. I missed my 35 to 1 by It's like 20 rushing yards and like 2 Keenan Allen receptions. But he caught 3 more passes. They just all got called back on flag.
Oh.
And I was like, no. Like, I got the receptions. They just didn't count. It was so sad. And of course, you're not going to throw the guy 2 plays in a row. And so they kept, like, getting first downs that, like, he caught that didn't count.
Yeah. No, I had a couple just random things I was betting on, and I bet the under, and there was just stuff I bet on that I just all hit. I stopped doing parlays with more than 3 things. So I
need
hit
to
a
get
couple
back
$2.
to doing safe bets. I've stopped doing my safe bets. I'm still doing good, but it's just not. I need my safe bets again. All right. So anyway, moving on. This week for the movies, we've got rom-coms because Aaron likes them.
Fucking love them.
Oh my god. I'm going to go back and... Hold on. I'm going to double check that you actually won. Let's see.
While you're doing that, I don't know what you guys do on a Saturday morning, but a cup of hot chocolate, a blanket, and a rom-com? Fucking sign me up.
Nope.
Good lord.
Apparently what I do on Saturday is get called by Aaron at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, otherwise known as 12:30, because you missed our 12 o'clock podcast time.
We didn't have a 12 o'clock. You were literally at the store. Like, we had a podcast time.
Oh, no, we did, and I missed it. Just because I also missed it does not mean you're also not wrong.
We never agreed on a time.
Jeremy?
I randomly just said, like, around noon or something. I don't think we...
Where did you... I literally checked the chat. You did not post that. I said... Okay, I'll read you the chat. Ready? I was like, okay, so we're good to go whenever. Jeremy, just tell us what time. Oh, and then you did post around noon. But you posted it at 11 p.m. What the fuck is the matter with you?
So, yeah,
I never saw
it did exist.
I never saw that. I just saw the
The guy who doesn't read it didn't read it?
I swear.
No, I literally didn't.
We know you didn't, because you never did.
It didn't give me a notification. Like, it literally didn't.
Doesn't matter, you won't read it.
It's so stupid. And then you asked when we casting.
Well, yeah, because y'all blew straight past it like fucking Formula One.
Oh my god. Oh, are you serious? There's no fucking way. Oh my god, no. What is happening? Oh, are you following news for the Chiefs? Jeremy?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, you were muted. Okay. I'm checking to see if this is real. I think somebody's fucking with me. Okay, so Frank Clark got cut by the Broncos because he's only played 2 fucking games this year, and he's apparently doing a physical to get signed with the Chiefs.
Okay.
And then the message someone just sent me is that the Chiefs are trading for McCole Hardman.
Hold on, my kid's calling me.
Okay. This is going to be so weird if he actually... I love how he's got 2-time Super Bowl champion on his Twitter profile.
Oh, God.
That's great. I don't hate McCole, but he does seem to have a lot of posts that don't involve the Jets lately. I don't know. Man, I would have thought there was no chance McCole was coming back. That would be crazy if in 1 week we get 2 longtime Chiefers that got cut last year and then just come back.
That would be weird.
That'd be very weird. Well, McCole went and got paid, and then the Jets aren't even playing him. And then Frank Clark left because he didn't want to take a pay cut. Well, goes to the Broncos, literally plays 2 games, and he's like, yeah, peace, I'm out. Like, fuck this.
Well,
You
Clark
guys
is
suck.
good.
He's fine. He's just his body just isn't there anymore. Like, he has constant severe illnesses. I don't know if you know this. No, yeah, like he's missed like 6 football games due to illness because he's got some kind of gut problem where he gets like constant like stomach flus. It's really weird. But yeah, Frank Clark's a solid player, but like he was making like $20 million a year, and that's just not. He should be making like $3 million a year. And so the Broncos picked him up. He did nothing for them, and then they cut him. And now he's like, I want to come back to Kansas City. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Do it, man.
Yes.
All right. Who's going first?
Not me.
Jeremy, do you have a strong
want me
one
to
to
go first?
Go.
I can go first.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go
I don't
first.
need to go first. No, you go first.
All right. 50 First Dates.
You motherfucker.
You son of a bitch.
I know, dude. I love that movie.
So I
Wanna-
can't let you go first again. Damn it.
One of my,
It was
one of
actually.
my
It
favorite
was
Adam,
actually.
Adam Sandler movies.
It's actually was not even on my list. I was just kidding.
Yeah, it's a good one. Though.
It is good though. All right. I'm gonna go with Princess Bride. Aaron.
We're gonna do Clueless
That's
Ooh,
on
that
my
was
list. It's a good one.
and The Girl Next Door.
Is that the one where she's
Is that
a
the?
prostitute?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Well, no, not prostitute. Adult
She's
industry professional.
Yeah, she's a porn star.
Oh. Huge respect.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. That I haven't seen that in forever. I totally forgot about it. So I am next. I'm gonna go with 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That was on my list.
Which, speaking of, while looking up these movies, I found multiple title inaccuracies that I was not aware of, like Mandela effect stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jeremy, your last two picks.
Last two picks. Bridesmaids.
I have not seen that.
Oh my god, so good.
Is that one word? Bridesmaids, one word?
Bridesmaids.
Okay.
Oh man, this is a tough one. Let's go with There's Something About Mary. I've got so many good ones on my list here.
Yeah. No, yeah, once I kind of got going, I was like, wow, there's a lot of these. And I was pretty sure we weren't going to overlap too much. All right. My final one. God, there's so many good ones. Can I pick 4? Is that cool?
Wait, is this the same man who berated me for the topic?
That doesn't mean it's not a bad topic. There's just a lot of good movies.
You might have to go with.
I'm going to go with Groundhog Day.
Good
not
one.
Groundhog's Day. It's
Yeah.
Groundhog Day.
That is a stellar pick.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that
I
has
know
a lot
it.
of
I know it
sexual-
is.
I'm pretty sure this has a lot of harassment in it. Actually, it's pretty inappropriate these
well,
days.
Is just learning what a girl likes and giving her what she likes manipulating?
Like Stalker.
He does stalk. Well, that was different. He didn't do that
Oh, yeah.
the time that he manipulated her. That was, yeah.
It's very close
there's
to.
dude.
bad.
Groundhog's Day is such a crazy, like, cult classic, like, underground loved movie. Like, there's so much, like, deep theory stuff about Groundhog's Day. It's crazy.
We might own multiple copies in our house.
Yeah. Well, if you want to watch it twice.
I know, right? I have to pick the last one here. We are.
Last pick.
Gosh, dang it! These are all about the same level for me.
It goes fast when Parker's not here.
I know. I'm gonna go 13 going on 30.
Without a pick that. Wow, that took like 2 minutes.
Okay, so here's what we need to do. Okay, we need to make a decoy list. Okay, we need to use our scraps, and let's put together a
Oh.
Parker list.
You want the Parker list? Okay. Of
no,
real
dude, I got
scraps?
it. No, dude, I got it. You ready? Wait. Do we want good ones or bad ones? We want bad
No,
ones,
no.
right?
No. We
Okay,
just throw
good ones?
scrap
Oh, well-
ones that we didn't pick into a pile
Okay.
and just see if
Hold on, wait. Let me. I already have a list. I'm just moving.
you
the
have a
here.
list.
No, I got it.
Well, if you want the other
This
like
is-
classic rom-coms, there's Harry Met Sally, right? Like,
And like, yeah, you can do like the top like.
What is
IMDb
your
picks.
scrap one? What are those? What are you putting together?
All right, Jeremy, you ready? We got Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Okay.
The Wedding Singer,
Okay.
Wedding Singer's
and,
not bad.
and Jerry Maguire that we
Okay,
didn't pick.
King,
Like that's on the board still.
King Kong.
King Kong.
that is not a rom-com.
No, I know, but
So
Wedding
I have a
Crashers.
long list still.
Chasing
Yeah,
Amy.
Wedding Crash. Yeah, I had Chasing Amy. Knocked Up.
Oh, Knocked Up was so good.
Blast from the Past. 10
Mm.
Things I Hate About You. 6 Days and 7 Nights. I also had A Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale. Yeah.
How to Lose a Guy in
yeah.
10 Days was pretty good.
Yep.
Sleepless in
Okay.
Seattle.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
While You Were Sleeping.
No. That definitely sounds like it's got some sketchy components.
Yeah, we gotta have a decoy one. They don't know.
Yeah. All right, so on the decoy one, do we just invalidate all the votes for it and then count the other votes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't count at all.
All right. Do we want Jerry Maguire or do we want, like, Knocked Up instead?
Or Bridget Jones' Diary. Pick all Renee Zellweger.
No.
Okay. You can pick whatever you want. I don't care.
Oh, there's also, I think, technically Yes Man.
No, we don't want that one.
Yeah.
I think we should just each pick one.
All right.
I want
choose
Chasing Amy for mine.
I choose Wedding Singer.
Okay.
I'll do How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Okay, and then go ahead and fill the last one in. You can do your Jerry Maguire.
No, you only get 3.
I already did it.
Oh, okay,
he didn't even listen.
Done.
I did Wedding Singer.
Okay, good luck, Parker Ghost.
The Ghost of Parker's Past.
So I'm gonna post it and Parker's gonna go immediately, I wasn't even on the cast! Like,
I know.
God damn it, Parker.
Doesn't mean you can't vote.
Yeah. I felt pretty good about a lot of my B picks. I think were really good. Underrated movies.
All right, so just confirming, you are at my house tomorrow at 7 a.m., correct? Okay.
That's
then
the
we will
plan.
pick you up at Pilot
Yes.
at what time?
7:45.
7:45. We will leave here at about 7:20.
That's what I calculated 7:45 based on.
Okay.
You'll actually be like 7:50, 7:55. I will be there at 7:45 just in case you're early, so you will not be waiting on me.
Just confirming the coming back plan. Is she picking you up at like 3 a.m.?
It should be 1 a.m., but that's the current plan.
Okay. Strong.
If we have to go to a plan B, then we'll go to a plan B.
I have a feeling I'll be driving at that point, so
And that is Monday morning, right?
Yes.
that's Tuesday morning,
But yeah.
1 a.m.
Tuesday at
Yeah.
1 a.m.
Monday late night, Tuesday morning.
Gotcha. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, I figure we can just do like a halvesies way on the way back where like I can drive the second half if somebody wants to drive the first half, but I can take over whenever, really.
Yeah.
I can drive anytime before the sun goes down.
Yeah, which will be 0 time after we get back. Aaron throws his hands up. I don't know. I'm not the sun god. I can't make the sun stay up. Like, it's not my fault.
I tried once. Didn't work.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
I will have... So our talking topic in the car is going to be matchups for a while, so...
Or Jeremy's game.
Nope.
Well, that'll be, yeah. When it all breaks down to silence, I've got a little game thing, so it's fine.
Yeah, no,
We're good.
we'll be good. I've come up with a Marvel character quiz that's basically playing 20 questions, where you have to guess which MCP character the person is thinking using only yes or no questions. And I think we've narrowed it into 10 it's 10 questions, really. You get 10 questions, try and figure it out. It's we played that game at the store one time. It was pretty fun.
Okay.
Anyway.
Ooh, hold on.
What?
I might have to revise.
Well, it's too late now.
No, fine.
Okay, so
No.
I might be crazy here, but I feel like I have by far the best list. So
I know you.
Well, that's because you cheated with Princess Bride. But okay.
what? It's the definition of a rom-com.
No, it is.
How is it not?
It is an action adventure comedy, not a rom-com.
It is literally not.
And also, it's a Rob Reiner movie, so you get special benefits. Everyone
What's
loves
that?
those.
Oh, is he famous? I'm not a director's guy, so
Yeah, all his movies are
what else did he do?
I'd have to look up the list. There's another guy too. All the Ferris Bueller guy who directed all those movies. Ferris Bueller,
Princess
16
Bride, Harry Met
Candles.
Sally, Few Good Men, North, The American President.
They're all kind
That's
of
it.
like feel good, like you watch them and just feel like I am a better
Heartwarming
person
movies.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he gets it. Like he's making good shit.
Yep.
Kind of like was it Mike Judge?
Mike Judge.
He's the one that did Beavis and Butthead.
But those are just funny.
No, but like he also did Idiocracy. He did.
Yeah.
What's the name of the one with Jason Bateman and Mila Kunis, where like he owns this like failing little business and he hires someone to
Factory?
sleep with his wife? Is that what it's called? I can't remember.
No,
the
what
name.
is it called? It's called like Potion or something. I don't remember.
It's an odd name. But no, all of my Judge stuff is like super smart, but it's also funny. Producer.
Office Space.
Yeah, Office Space is a good one. He did King of the Hill. He hasn't done as much as I thought he did.
So did we like put together a ticker tape parade when we get back, or like how does that work? Does a person have to put together their own ticker tape parade, or do people put that together for you?
I don't know about. I mean, if you saying when we win,
dude, I don't think you
when we
have
get
to,
back.
when you just get back. I don't think anyone won Vietnam. Honestly.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like let's just be real about it.
Pretty sure someone did. And it wasn't us.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about this? We post our gate number.
Okay.
In the Discord, right?
I have certain expectations.
And if we have fans near Chicago and they want to come greet us, we'll be there.
All I know.
What do you think?
I've waited 47 years for a ticker tape parade. God damn it! I'm ready.
We definitely did not get one when I got back.
Oh. You just had mothers carrying babies spinning. That was a different kind of parade.
No, like my travel back was a fucking nightmare, and so like it was just a mess. I would definitely rather have trouble coming back than getting there, obviously. So
oh man, that one
playing on that, yeah.
Dude, if I would have had the same trouble getting to Disney World as I did when I got back, I think I would have stroked out. Like, I think I would have had a stroke. I would have been so upset. I was almost as upset as I could make myself coming back. It just would have been multiplied by 10 if it would have been going.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we're going to get back. It's going to be the 24th, the day we get back. We've got 1 week before the tournament. That's interesting.
What tournament?
Our normal monthly tournament in November.
You mean the one that we're all going to be at Warfare for?
Is Warfare the 4th?
Yes.
I thought it was like the 11th. Damn it.
I think the 11th is when our normal weekly tournament is. Monthly.
Yeah, it's the 4th. Shit. Okay. Damn it.
Yeah, because we do this thing, which is Janet's week with the boys. Then I come back, it's my week, and then she gets the boys again, which allows me to do Warfare. So it all actually works out in a weird way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so no tournament then. No. We can have a party.
Ticker tape party?
If there's not streamers and like things to run through, I'm going to be upset.
If it's not the equivalent of a Chiefs touchdown, when we get off the plane, I will be let down.
I guess we could kind of have a party that Thursday. We have like a potluck or something. We survive.
I will be expecting all of our friends to be bringing food.
Cakes, no, I'm not bringing anything.
Hot dogs.
I brought chili last time. That's enough for three potlucks.
I'm not saying that they have to. I'm just saying it's suggested.
All of my friends will be there. Trust me.
I will be there, Aaron.
Newsflash: right. I don't have any friends.
Oh.
This is in the middle of 8.
If you quit treating them like shit on the tabletop and like rubbing their nose in their failures, maybe some people would. I don't know.
Would they like me more? Oh
no.
Fuck! I'll have to work on that.
It's just an unlikable issue. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I will tell you though, as the team captain, we do expect some form of Independence Day speech on the day of to really get us going. And if we don't get that, there's going to be a mutiny. I'm just saying.
Okay. Oh, you'll
I
fucking get it in the middle, of the play space right before our round 3 games start.
Round 3? No, round 1. We're going to lose the first 2 rounds on Independence Day speech. Don't make me get up on a table and just read the Independence Day speech.
Hold on.
In deadpan.
Did he give the fucking speech as the prologue to the movie? I don't fucking think so.
He did it as the prologue to the final battle. This is the final battle.
Yeah, we'll be 0-4.
This is the climax.
Jeremy's got it. We got to get our asses kicked day 1. That night, you're getting the speech in prep for day 2.
I do not like this.
I refuse
this is the
to
worst
return
way
to a
Plan
country.
A, lose 3 games. Plan B, Independence Day speech. Plan C, win 2 games.
I've got it written out. We're good.
Yeah. Oh god.
Either that, or I'll give you the St. Crispin's Day speech. One of the two.
Oh,
I haven't decided.
Okay.
It's like, okay,
All
guys,
right.
I know it's 1 a.m. Here's your 8 ball. Here we go. Now that's a captain.
All right. Well, it's been fun, guys. I will see you tomorrow. If you don't hear from me by, we'll call it 6:30, somebody call my phone. But I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've been staying up till 5 a.m. the last 4 days, so like clearly I'll get up at 6 and it'll be no issues.
Jesus.
Well, tell you what, just make it an extra hour and a half and you're good.
Right.
Oh, I could stay up all night. I just don't want to, because then I'll be jet lagged and tired.
Okay. Well, I gotta start putting shit together.
Yeah, me too. I still gotta make food and stuff. I'm gonna do sandwiches. So, Jeremy, I'm gonna show up with a cooler. I'll have sodas and waters and probably chips. Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab like a big bag of chips and then probably munchies. And then I'll also have deli sandwiches. So, like meat, cheese only stuff.
Warm ham salad sandwiches.
Egg
salad,
believe
boiled eggs.
I asked somebody and they told me it was referred to as a ground beef slurry. So if you guys are partial to ground beef slurries, because you see what you do is you take hot chocolate, you pour in some vodka, and then you just dump in a pound of ground beef, you stir it up, and you just spigot that out to people.
You ain't hungry till you eat a ground beef slurry.
I love that people have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. We went to a cheesecake tailgating one time. And we couldn't get the grill to start, which was our only source of heat. It was like -7 degrees. It was so fucking cold. And multiple people didn't bring gloves. And so we're sitting there, and the only source of heat is the hot chocolate that I brought. And so people are just going through the hot chocolate really quick. And then we're like, well, we can't start the grill because for some reason we can't get started. So what are we going to do with this like 3 pounds of ground beef we brought for burgers? It's like, I guess we'll just dump it in the hot chocolate and hope it cooks. Just eat it. Oh, that was a fun day.
Taste it. I
can still taste the lukewarm chocolatey beef.
Oh my god. The delectable taste of some good quality chocolate beef.
Yeah. Oh man. Man, tell you what though, like in the moment the adversity feels ridiculous, but it's always great thinking back. Like I remember the storm game, the thunderstorm game with you and Parker. You remember that one?
Yep.
Dude, it was brutal while we were there, but like thinking back, I'm like, man, that was a fun game to be at.
I just we could have sold Parker.
Yeah, we could have literally sold Parker to 2 guys in the hallway. So there was a lightning strike at one of the Chiefs games because a thunderstorm rolls in. So it was like 50 degrees. So I'm there in shorts and in my jersey, nothing else. Like I'm wearing flip-flops. And the storm rolls in and it drops 20 degrees. It's like 30 degrees now. And it starts pouring rain. And then we start getting lightning strikes. And it's like third quarter of the game. So they delay the game for an hour and a half until the lightning goes away. And so we're all standing in the tunnels waiting to go back to our seats. And it's just been 30 degrees and rainy and windy as fuck for like the last hour and a half. And we go back to our seats, and the whole time we were in the hallway, Parker like curled up on the ground and went to sleep in the middle of a sports stadium. And we were just like, he'll be fine. And we just wander off. And so yeah, we go back to our seats and watch the rest of the game. Oh man. Anyway.
Then to watch them lose. It was cold, wet, and rainy.
We did lose that game. It was the Bills game. 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
It was still really fun. The losses always hurt in the moment, but
it turns out it didn't matter. Haha.
Who's got the chips? Anyway, all you guys go. Goodbye, everyone.